Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge farmer and
Mrs. Stoney Ridge.
And we're here on our farm here in the rural foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina, and we want to show you a little bit about what we do with our garden. If you don't know about the YouTube channel, this is the Stoney Ridge Farmer YouTube channel. We're starting a first generation farm here on 200 acres of rural property that was overgrown and an absolute disaster, and we're turning it into something beautiful and wonderful so we can feed our family, our neighbors, and our friends, and whomever wants to buy food from us. So it's a pretty cool operation. Today we're going to show you and talk to you a little bit about these troubled times that we're having right now and why it's necessary for you to have chickens. Chickens are part of the symbiotic relationship with everything here on the farm. Chickens, manure, compost, gardening, all that fun stuff. Even out here on the yard, you can see how luscious and green the yard is. It's just absolutely wonderful. We're going to talk about chickens. We're going to be fencing them into our garden spot that we just tilled up with the tractor over here. We're going to have a little bit of fun here on the farm today. All right? Stoney Ridge Farm, Stoney Ridge. Stoney Ridge Farm. All right, we got a chicken singing her egg song over here. You guys are gonna hear that. Buck, buck, buck. So a white leghorn hen will sing the egg song. When a chicken lays an egg, it's like announcing, I just laid an egg. So all these birds right here that we have under this mobile coop are moved throughout our land. They're moved on our yard. And right now, basically, the sustainability portion of our farm is based on about a 3-acre spot. Now we've got about a 40-acre field over here with our cattle, and we just purchased our cattle probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And this is the spot where the chickens have moved. So the chickens are getting fed chicken feed and grass and worms and bugs, and they're all moving around in this mobile coop. This coop houses anywhere from 35 to 50 birds, and you can see as we go up through here, it's a little dead, a little less dead, a little less green, 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 all the way up through there. So got a lot of huge projects going on here on the farm. So if you're not subscribed, please jump in, pound that like button, and subscribe to the channel. We live in a $3,500 mobile home that we bought, and we live on a beautiful acreage here in North Carolina, but it didn't always look like this. So this is our garden spot. And me and Mrs. Stoney Ridge are going to be putting some poultry netting, which is in the back of the side-by-side right here. We're going to put this poultry netting all the way around our garden, and we're going to release our chickens. So come on down here and we'll show you the chickens. This is our deer fence. You can see those fence posts right there. We'll walk on down here. We'll explain our deer fence. There'll be a link down at the end of the video here to teach you how to keep deer out of your garden with a very, very simple fence. So here's what we have. And again, this is all about living sustainably. Some of our young birds are in here in our coop, and some of our older birds. So I think we have 3 older birds that are probably 3 to 5 years old. Inevitably, chickens will stop laying after about 3 to 5 years. And those chickens, well, they get put in the pot. That's it. So this is our laying box, our little apparatus right here, and you'll see Mrs. Stoney Ridge is gathering up the eggs right now. It's a pretty simplistic system. This is a 4x8 mobile chicken coop. In other words, I don't move it every day, but if I needed to lift it up and move it and take it to a different spot on the farm, I could. Now, this is our garden spot. It didn't always look like this. Let's go out down here and get some soil. Our soil did not always look like this. This is a compost heap. This has all of last year's seeds and weeds and composted sticks and stuff like that, all in there in that compost pile, and we'll slowly work through that, spreading it around our garden veggies as the year goes on. Now, we've tilled out our garden spot. We built this with compost and manure that we got from our local landfill. So check your local municipalities. You may be able to go get a whole truckload of compost for 20 bucks. That's what we had to pay for a truckload of compost. This is enough garden spot right here, and it's approximately 50 by 80, and it's enough garden spot to feed 5 families. Pretty awesome. This is our orchard, and we just planted all this stuff within the last 3 to 4 years. We've only been on the farm for 5 years, and this was forested. It was an absolute disaster. Trees falling all over top of each other, but we've taken down the forest, we put in pasture, and we're getting ready to fence this whole area in so we can rotate our cattle. These are our honeybees. Our honeybees are right here by our orchard. for a reason. So if the honeybees swarm, they land in the orchard, and voila, we can catch our honeybee swarms, and that's like catching a $100 bill in a tree. It's pretty awesome. Plus, all of our garden veggies and all of our fruit is definitely pollinated by the bees, which are right there. We're gonna get started planting the garden in about 2 weeks. That's when the last frost date is supposed to be. But for right now, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go ahead and put our Premier One fencing around our garden. Let me go over here and show you that. So before, we had, over the winter, this garden area, about half of it was fenced in with this poultry netting right here. And this is electrified poultry netting. You'll get a lot more view of that here in just a little bit. And now we're gonna take it down from where it's at, and we're gonna put it all around the garden spot. What that's gonna do is allow those chickens to get in here and eat this stuff. Volunteer plants that are coming up. So the chickens will scratch through all this and spread our compost for us, and they will help with weed control, and they'll put out that good butt fertilizer that we love so much that makes the plants just grow. Chickens love, love, love to get in here and take dust baths, so it's a great thing for the garden, and it's a great thing for the chickens. Now over here, I'll show you what we have. We have an automatic chicken door opener. This is from Chicken Guard, and basically you can just hit a button. We can program it to come up and down with sunrise and sunset, or we can set a specific time. The chickens will automatically go back in the coop every single night, and that door automatically closes. So they have access to all this space throughout the day. They lay us awesome eggs, and they go back in, go to sleep tonight, and they'll be safe. Pretty cool. We also feed all of our old food scraps. I'll let Mrs. Stoney Ridge show you those.
These are our food scraps from the last few days. We usually keep track of them for a couple days, and the chickens love it, no matter how moldy or old it gets. It's good chicken treats.
That looks pretty gross, Mrs. Stoney Ridge. You gonna
They
feed that?
love it, and I'm not eating
Those
it.
birds can't take that. That's nasty, huh?
Oh, the birds will love it, I guarantee
Suck it in
you.
there. Watch it.
Birdies. Here we go, birdies.
Guys, we learned all this, and I hope you're enjoying the fact that we're sharing it with you. We learned all this from experience and over time. These are our gourds that we grew here on the farm. We've got a lot of gourds, and these just age right here up on top of the chicken coop, and they also provide the chickens with a little bit of shade. So year after year, we take our old gourds and we put them right up on top of the chicken coop. All this stuff is for the garden later, but we put all these old gourds, these birdhouse gourds, right up on top of the chicken coop, and we make birdhouses out of them. So they provide shade, and they dry out good there, they cure out, and we make birdhouses. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this Premier One fencing, poultry netting, we're gonna go all the way around the chicken coop. We probably won't even have to put power to it because the chickens will have so much room to run and play and do their things and be chickens. It's just gonna be awesome. Let's get busy. Probably going to hear the drone in the background, but this is a roll of Premier One poultry netting. It's electrified right here by those little strands. They're little strands of electric wire, aluminized electric wire. So we just about got half the garden done, and we're going to zip down here to the other side of the chicken coop. All right, guys, we got it done. Yep. So that took all of about 10 minutes to wrap up our entire garden with this Premier One fencing. I'll post a link down the video description to the fencing that we use here on the farm, and I'll also post a link to the Chicken Guard automatic chicken coop door opener. That thing kicks butt. And that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you what was going on the Stoney Ridge farm today. Talk to you a little bit about how chickens are a necessity here on the farm. Let's talk one more time real quickly. Say bye, Mrs. Stoney Ridge.
Bye.
Let's talk one more time real quickly about our mobile chicken coop setup. There'll be a link at the end of this video. This is a PVC mobile chicken coop that we move about the farm. We don't have to move it far, and you don't need a large acreage. You can have 1/3 of an acre and still do this and still feed your family. Those are all laying hens. Typically we'll put our meat birds in there. And we use a Cornish cross meat bird most of the time. They dress out to be about an 8-pound meat bird. And we don't have to worry about being hungry. As long as we got chickens, as long as we grow a garden and we preserve our food and we live clean, a good, clean, sustainable life. We're not dumping chemical fertilizers on this garden. We're not dumping chemical anything anywhere here on the farm, guys. So super duper awesome. Stay tuned. The end credits will show you the cool chicken coop, chicken guard door. I'm gonna hit the button, we'll release the chickens, and they're gonna have a blast, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us here on the Stoney Ridge Farm today. I hope you'll come back and see us. Me and Mrs. Stoney Ridge look forward to seeing you again. Thanks a lot. See you next time. Woo!
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
Remember, we let our chickens be chickens, but you can't just let chickens run free or you'll have dead chickens. So we've got to have a safety net for our birds, and that's what this is. See you later, guys.